Boost your English with adverb clauses. Today I will show you how to take a simple sentence and turn it into a much more complex sentence. Hello and welcome to English Speaking 360. My name is Josh, and today I'm going to help you understand adverb clauses. What is an adverb clause? The best way to explain it is with an example. She ran. She ran is just a basic sentence, a subject and a verb, but we don't have any other information. We don't know how she ran. We don't know why she ran. She ran fast. Fast is an adverb. It is added to the verb and it gives more information about the verb ran. She ran because she was late. Because she was late is an adverb clause. An adverb clause is a dependent clause that functions like an adverb. So because she was late and fast have the same function. They give more information about the verb ran. Here's what you should know about adverb clauses. Let's use the same example as before. Adverb clauses help you add information to a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. They help you make much more complex sentences instead of using only simple sentences. They always contain a conjunction, a subject, and a verb. One more thing, they cannot stand alone because they are dependent clauses. So, in our example, you cannot remove she ran, because if you do, it just becomes because she was late. But because she was late is an incomplete sentence. You need she ran because she was late. There are many types of adverb clauses. Today we're going to study 9 different types together because I really love you. I want to give you as many examples as possible. And if you need extra practice, go to my website after watching the video and you can practice even more with many free activities. Adverb clauses of time. They show when something happens. For example, I'll text you after I land in Singapore. I'll text you is a very simple sentence, but after I land in Singapore adds more information about when you're going to text the person. We have many common conjunctions that we can use. When, while, as, before, after, until, once, since, and as soon as. Here's one more example. She called me is great, but she called me before she went to bed is a much better sentence. When the sun rises, we'll start hiking. We will start hiking when the sun rises. The comma rule is a very important thing in sentences that contain adverb clauses. Let's take a look at 2 of the examples we had before. When the sun rises, we'll start hiking. When the sun rises is the adverb clause. She called me before she went to bed. Before she went to bed is the adverb clause. Now, do you notice anything here? The first sentence has a comma, but the second sentence does not. Why is that? There is actually a rule. We say, if the adverb clause comes first, you need a comma. However, if the adverb clause comes after, there is no comma. And that rule applies to most sentences that contain adverb clauses. The second type is adverb clauses of cause or reason. They show why something happens. For example, I stayed home because I was sick. I stayed home is a great sentence. It can stand alone, there is no problem. But why did you stay home? Because I was sick. So because I was sick adds more information about the verb stayed. In this case, we can use because, since, as, now that, seeing that, and given that. These are very common conjunctions to introduce a cause or a reason. Since it's raining, we should stay inside. Since it's raining, since here has the meaning of because. Because it's raining, we should stay inside. Did you notice the comma here? Since it's raining, comma. Why is there a comma? Because the adverb clause comes first. Now that you are all here, we can start. You know, before you start a meeting, you have to wait until everybody is there. Oh, now that you are all present, we can start the meeting. Adverb clauses of contrast or concession. These adverb clauses show two different or two surprising ideas. For example, although it was cold, we went swimming. Oh my gosh, it was cold and they went swimming? That is very surprising. It doesn't make much sense and it looks very cold. Although is a very nice conjunction, it's a little bit formal, but you can also use though, even though, whereas, and while used for contrast. She drives an old car even though she's rich. She's a rich old lady, but she drives an old car. That doesn't really match. They are very different. A rich person usually drives a new car. So that is surprising also, even though she's rich. But there's no comma here because the adverb clause comes after the main clause. I like coffee, whereas my sister prefers tea. In this case, you are contrasting personal tastes. Adverb clauses of condition. When one thing depends on another. Very important. If it snows, I will just stay home. So if it happens to snow, she will stay home. But if it doesn't snow, she will probably go out. If is a great conjunction here, but we have others. You can also use unless, provided or provided that, as long as, whether or not, in case, and even if. One more example. Unless you hurry, you'll miss the plane. Here, unless means if you don't hurry, you will miss the plane. Take an umbrella in case it rains. Just in case, you should take an umbrella. Adverb clauses of purpose. These clauses answer the question, why did you do that? For what purpose? For what goal? Here, we don't have many conjunctions. We have only two. So that and in order that. But in order that is very formal, so you might not want to use it. Stick with so that. Let me give you a few examples. She spoke clearly so that everyone could understand. When you give a speech or when you give a presentation, it's very important to speak clearly so that the purpose of speaking clearly is that everyone can understand. He worked overtime in order that he might finish the project. So that's what I said before. This is a little bit formal. Here, a more natural sentence would be, he worked overtime to finish the project. That would be what someone would normally say, but then it wouldn't be an adverb clause. So that I could travel later, I saved money. So in this case also, you can flip them around and they still work, but don't forget to use a comma. So that I could travel later, comma, I saved money. Adverb clauses of result. They show the effect or the outcome of something. For example, the coffee was so hot that I burned my tongue. Ouch! Poor guy. So that is one of the most common structures here. So plus adjective or adverb that. Let me give you one more example. He drove so fast that he got scared. So in the first example here, so hot, hot is an adjective. He drove so fast, fast is an adverb, that he got scared. But there is one more pattern. You can also say such that, such plus adjective plus noun that. For example, It was such a nice day that we went to the beach. It was such a nice adjective, day, noun, that we went to the beach. Adverb clauses of comparison. They show differences or similarities. My twin sister is taller than I am. In English, we use many sentences with as much as little as, than, the more, or the more, the less, or the less, the less. More examples for you. I don't earn as much as he does. He makes more money than I do. The more you practice, the better you get. That's actually true. Do you speak English? If you don't practice speaking English, you will not get better. So the more you practice, the better you will become. Adverb clauses of manner. These clauses show how someone does something. For example, do it as I showed you. Now you go and you do it, but how? As I showed you, just like I showed you in our coaching session. This type of adverb clauses doesn't have many conjunctions. We use as if, and as though. That's all. He talks as if he knew everything. Now watch out here. There's a special case here. He talks as if, that's great, as if he knew everything. What's the problem here? Here, we use the unreal past to show imagination, because that guy does not know everything. That's why we use the unreal past, knew. She sings as though she were a star. In this case also, she's not a star, so we use it to show imagination, and here, the verb were is a subjunctive. Adverb clauses of place. They show where something happens. This one is pretty easy. I want to sit where he is sitting. I want to sit where? I want to sit exactly where that guy in the picture is sitting right now. We only have two common conjunctions here, where and wherever. I will follow you wherever you may go. That's very romantic, but it also comes from a song. I will follow you wherever you may go. Dun, 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 dun. You know that song, right? So that's a great example. I will follow you wherever you may go. That dog goes wherever she goes. Many people do that. They bring the dog wherever they go. It's nice to have a travel companion. Adverb clauses summary. Now let's take a look at all the different types that we have studied together today. Time adverb clauses. She called me as soon as she got home. Reason adverb clauses. I'm tired because I didn't sleep well. Contrast. Even though it's summer, it's very cold. Condition. You'll be late unless you leave now. Purpose. I wrote it down so that I wouldn't forget. Result. It was so dark that we couldn't see. Comparison. She is taller than I am. Manner. He acted as if nothing had happened. And place. I'll meet you where we first met. Excellent, guys. Do you need more practice? Probably, because there are so many different types. Go to EnglishSpeaking360.com. It's 100% free, and you can do a lot of extra practice activities. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.